I have good faith in David Gordon Green and Danny McBride. I feel like they'll stick the landing here. That being said, it's not like we haven't been shocked by movies before. You know, it's not like movies have sorely let us down. But if you're asking me if I think that they're gonna fuck it up, no. You just can't catch a break, can you, man? Alright, guys, welcome back to Days of Darkness, and welcome to my spoiler-free review for Halloween Ends. I just got done watching this movie last night, and full transparency, I immediately tried to sit down and record a video for it. And it was just a lot of disappointment and sadness and anger and bewilderment and shock. And I rewatched it today. I rewatched the raw footage, and I was like, okay, I want to at least have somewhat of a competent review here. So decided to go against it. If you guys really want that first reaction video, maybe I'll post it. Just let me know if you want to see it, though. But I wanted to go into this with at least a little bit of structure. Now, this is a spoiler-free sit-down. Don't have any notes. I'm just kind of talking about my first impressions of this movie. We will be doing this again with Hellraiser, coming also this weekend, if I can get away with it. And yeah, man, so it's no secret that I was very fucking excited for this film. That should go without saying. I loved the previous two. I know not everyone was a huge fan of them. This whole trilogy is very divisive amongst Halloween fans and horror fans in general. But me personally, I enjoyed them. I think shock is like the best way I can describe my reaction to Halloween Ends. You know, it's just, for me, all the pieces were there to really stick the landing and have a fucking satisfying as shit ending to what I think was an awesome trilogy of movies. I've always said that I admire when filmmakers take a risk. I'm a fair man, and despite the fact that I do not like this movie, I can admit they took a risk. On paper, it doesn't sound like that big of a gamble. The idea in general, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But they take a risk and they introduce a certain character and make him a very, very pivotal part of this film, which is a mixed bag of results. And in this case, it just does not fucking work. Because, and I think the actor does a great job. I don't know the gentleman's name. I think he does a fine job. That's not my problem with him. It is the fact that we are introduced to a key player. In my What I Want from Halloween Ends video, I mentioned that, you know, I would like to see more characters introduced. Side characters. This needed to be the Laurie and Michael movie. And Allison as well. This needed to be a movie centered around those three characters. And I don't think it's a spoiler for me to say that it is not. It is not that. They are pivotal key players in the film, as well as Michael Myers. But it was unnecessary to introduce this character. And if you're going to introduce this character, his role should have been greatly reduced. Again, I thought the actor did a fine job with what he was given. The man's doing his job. I can admire that, and I think he does a good job. But man, this was a giant misstep. A giant fucking misstep. Moving on from that, I will say one thing that I like. I don't think this is really a spoiler because it's in the marketing for the movie. I like that we see a Haddonfield that is completely ravaged by Michael Myers, even when he's not there. I like the fact that they really play up the effect that this man has had on this once very calm, peaceful, nice town. And it's not that anymore at all. You're seeing, murder and suicide and all this crazy shit going on, and it's all this one killer's fault. So the fact that they don't capitalize and make that villain much more of a key player in this film is confusing to me. But I do like that they played up that fact. Obviously, that whole theme was heavy in Halloween Kills with the whole, the mob mentality and all that, and they carry that over to this one. I like that. I liked that just fine. I think they go a little overboard with it, though, with a certain handling of a character. And interesting idea. Very, very bad execution. This whole thing really felt like fan fiction, if I'm being honest. And I think that's an insult to fan fiction. It just felt like some Joe Schmo who's never written anything a day in his life just kind of wrote this. And, maybe that's discrediting the film a little more than it deserves, but I just don't understand how you just squander such momentum. It's such a shame, dude. It is such a shame to see how this movie turned out. One thing I will say is I thought Jamie Lee Curtis and Annie Matichak once again give very solid performances for what they're given in this movie. I think everyone in this movie does a fine job. I didn't really notice anything too awful. I thought there was some pretty fucking rad returns that I was not expecting. One in particular that I was like, oh shit! Like it was cool to see. And there are positives I have of this movie. I think some of the kills are pretty fucking cool. One in particular, which is just fucking disgusting, and got a genuine reaction out of me. But this movie has far more faults, in my opinion, than good things going for it. I think my main issue with this movie, besides the whole problem with introducing a character in the third film of a trilogy and making him the key, it's like, whew, that's a lot to take in. If you're going to introduce characters, make them side characters, give us some legacy characters, give us some new, interesting, fun characters. Do that. Do all that. Whew. Man, oh man. What we got with Michael Myers in this movie, I would go as far as to say is a fucking travesty. I'm not going to get into spoilers, even though I really want to. But the way the Michael Myers character is handled in this movie is just wrong. Now, we've seen our Halloween 5s with incompetent fucks who don't know what the fuck they're doing. But in this case, this is from the same people that made 2 stellar Halloween movies with stellar interpretations of what Michael Myers is. All love to James Jude Courtney. Again, I think he does a great job. He brings a great amount of physicality to this role. I would even go as far as to say he's probably my second favorite Michael Myers of all time, and that won't change. But the handling and the writing of this character, I don't understand how someone sees what this film is going to be and no one speaks up. That just does not make sense to me. I don't know how this film got past test screenings. I don't know how people came out satisfied from this movie enough for people to say, yeah, let's release that. Granted, this isn't the first bad movie to ever be released in theaters. So, but, man, if I have to just sum this, my reaction, my initial real reaction in one word, it would be disappointment. I guess we're just never going to get that satisfying Halloween ending that fans deserve, man. And fans deserve to have that ending. They really do. You know, and there's, I mean, obviously with the Halloween franchise, it's really pick your own adventure. For me, the ending of the Halloween franchise will always be Dr. Loomis shooting Michael Myers 6 times. I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. Shooting Michael Myers 6 times. Michael tumbling over the balcony. And then when Dr. Loomis peers his head over, and he's just not there. And the shape will forever wander the earth. Popping up when you least expect him. Which is what the ending of that original movie did so well. It, you know, just giving you that feeling. He's always out there. He's always watching. You never know when he's coming. To me, that will always be the legacy of the Michael Myers character. I refuse to let any shitty movie ruin that for me. Because I know I saw one post from an influencer I will not name, who just said, basically what I got from the post was the entire Halloween legacy is just ruined. No, this is not the first time we've had a bad Halloween movie. Hopefully it's the last, but it is not the first time we have had a bad Halloween movie. So, but to me though, the legacy of Halloween will always be that. It's another Texas Chainsaw Massacre syndrome of, now granted Halloween has been treated much better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre as far as the big screen is concerned. But man, the legacy of Michael Myers will always be, to me, in that original 1978 classic. And, you know, you can have your choose your own adventures after that. But for me, I'm sticking with the 78, baby. And that's pretty much where I lie. You know, I'll do a, at this point, I think the Halloween franchise is probably my most anticipated, amongst some other ones. There's other key franchises that I really need to tackle. But I think Halloween's probably the one I'm most interested in doing. That is not the next one. I'll say that just outright. But yeah, man, this one was rough. This one was real rough. Without further ado, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and record the Hellraiser review, which will be a little more positive in nature. But yeah, guys, without further ado, thank you as always for stopping by and supporting the dream. Take care of each other and keep watching horror.